It has been over a month since the last news update I made on this channel, so I decided to speak about the new exciting things that have been announced in the VR world. In this list, there is one point that drastically improves the lives of Quest 3 users, and I didn't believe it will come so soon. But let's take things in order. Firstly, we have news about the Apple Vision Pro, which, whether you like it or not, has managed to leave its mark on the VR ecosystem by bringing to consumers human-like avatars in the form of personas and a UI that is easy and intuitive to the point of giving Meta a good reason to rethink the way we interact with our Quest devices. Hopefully, it will not take long until we see an improvement in the UI of our Quest headset as a response to the somewhat unfair comparison made between the two devices. If you are someone who has hoping for more big companies to enter the VR space, most likely the news about Ubisoft's disappointment related to the performance of Assassin's Creed Nexus was not a welcomed announcement. Looking at the opinions of the content creators and journalists in the VR space, we can say that the game sold well. But Ubisoft, as a big company, is used to the numbers they usually make with the release of a flat-screen game. As a consequence, the standard of good sales numbers for them is a lot different than the average VR developer. The reality is that at the moment, the VR user base is still not big enough to justify investing in big-budget AAA games, expecting to get a return on a level equal to PC or console gaming. Next, we have Mark Zuckerberg, who after trying the Apple Vision Pro said the Quest 3 is a better headset. His reason was that it's better for the vast majority of things that people use mixed reality for.
Alright guys, so I finally tried Apple's Vision Pro. And I have to say that before this, I expected that Quest would be the better value for most people since it's really good and it's like 7 times less expensive. But after using it, I don't just think that Quest is the better value. I think that Quest is the better product, period. Overall, Quest is better for the vast majority of things that people use mixed reality for.
The only aspect he chose to praise was the eye tracking, saying that it's really nice and pointing out that it enables a nice interface. He ended the video by stating that despite the fact Apple won when it comes to the mobile market, an open model might prove to be better for VR, similar to the case of Windows for PCs. Now, whatever Quest can be that kind of platform for VR is a debate for the future. Meta CEO also announced that in a couple of years we might see a finger-tracking neural wristband released as a fully working product. This could be a great alternative to the current finger-tracking method made possible with computer vision, which despite working well enough, has limited accuracy, relatively high latency, is prone to occlusion, and performs worse in dimmer lighting. The wristband is an entirely different approach that senses muscle activity, using a technique called electromyography, or EMG. Theoretically, this could have zero or even negative latency, perfect accuracy, work regardless of the lighting conditions, and not be subject to occlusion. But whatever this can be a reality remains to be seen. If this turns to be true, it will revolutionize the way we interact with headsets and AR glasses. The current information says that we can expect this kind of device to be released in 2027, but since there is a long time until then, this timeline might be subject to some changes. Some better news from the gaming side is the release in early access of the PCVR game Bootstrap Island. In my opinion, this is the first true hardcore survival VR game that we have seen until this moment. I know we had games like Green Hell VR before, but the level of spatial awareness and intuition this game demands from its players, without giving them too much information, is a welcome approach that differentiates itself from most games that hold the hand of players because of the fear of not frustrating them too much. An example I can give is the fact that if you don't manage to start a fire before the night comes, your death is pretty much a 100% certainty. The physics-based interactions with the environment also have a really good feeling to them. Right now the game costs $24.99 and its full release is planned for 2025. For the PSVR users, the good news is the fact that Sony announced their willingness to make their PSVR 2 able to access the PC officially until the end of the year. Some of you might have heard about some unofficial attempts to connect the PSVR 2 to PC by Ivry or Trinus, but until now it hasn't proved to be a viable solution for most people. The fact that this problem might be solved by Sony themselves is a huge benefit for the average VR user. But there is a catch. In the blog post that mentioned this upcoming future, the text doesn't specify exactly how PC support will be delivered, such as whether it will still require a PS5 as an intermediary or it will be a direct connection between a PSVR 2 and the PC. If it's the former, there will be a very small percentage of people who have both PS5 with a PSVR 2 headset and also a PC powerful enough to play PCVR games. All we can do now is wait for Sony to give us more details about this matter with our fingers crossed. From a South Korean news outlet, we have information about a high-end XR headset from LG made in partnership with Meta that is planning to ship in the first half of 2025. For now, there is not much information about this device aside from an estimated price of $2,000. Whether this will prove to be the Quest Pro 2 or something entirely different remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: the competition in the high-end headset market is about to become more lively, especially if we consider the involvement of Google joining the party together with Samsung. For a strong end, let's talk about Virtual Desktop new beta update, which enables simulated upper body tracking in Steam VR using the Quest 3. This feature is a huge improvement to your experience in games that support full body tracking like VR chat. Now, without any additional external trackers, using just your Quest 3, the way your avatar moves will be much more natural, taking into account the position of your elbows and if you are trying to lean forward or not. If you want to try this feature, all you have to do is go to the announcement page in the official Virtual Desktop Discord and download from there the PC version of this update and the one for your Quest from the Meta app or website. After that, you are good to go after enabling this option in the Virtual Desktop menu. I hope you found at least one new thing that interested you, and if you enjoyed the video, I recommend watching this next. Goodbye!